Hello everybody, it's me, Matteo, and now I welcome you here in my RC garage. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Let's have a closer look on this new J45C scale crawler from MST. First, let's check the body. The main part is made in clear polycarbonate and have to be cut and painted. But the flat bed and roll cage at the rear end is made in black hard plastic. There are a lot of hard plastic scale details on the body. The front grille with light buckets and the winkers. The snorkel and side mirrors and windshield wipers. The driver figure is not included in the kit. As always, I used the 4x4 vehicle driver figure from Tamiya and hard plastic seats from Yeah Racing. And here you can see the hard plastic rear end with bed, roll cage and integrated light buckets. With these two pins, the body is fixed on the chassis in front. After removing these pins, the body can be opened up. It holds at the rear with two screws, and this works as hinge. Here you can see how I installed the driver figure and the already installed LED lights. These are sold separately. Later we will check the chassis. But now, let's go back on the trails. Welcome back in my garage. Now let's have a closer look on the chassis. It's the CFX-w chassis and it's basically the same as on the JP1, the cheap-like first edition of this truck. It comes with steel leather frames, rigged axles and a 4-link suspension in front and at the rear. The axles are portals, It means a small gearbox allows to install the wheel on a lower position, and so at the center of the axle we gain more ground clearance. The servo is installed on the front axle, and this position allows a press steering even on rough terrain. The steering angle is very good. This is possible because of the steel universals installed on the front axle. The dampers are called TC80, filled with oil and are the same as on the JP1. 2 springs are installed on each damper, one softer and one harder to get a good agility on every terrain. The tires are a bit hard, but not bad for kit tires. The rims are non-beadlocks. It means tires have to be glued on the rims with superglue. These are the rims included in the kit. I used another model, but also from MST. You can find the link in the video description. The motor is not included in the kit. I have installed the Xeron X brushless system from Hobbywing. Here in the gearbox the planetary gear is installed. A very good and strong gearing. All gears except the spare gear are made in metal, and everything is equipped with ball bearings. And the transmission goes over this transfer case to the drive shafts. But there are some small changes to the first edition of this chassis from the JP1. On the JP1 the battery was installed crosswise, here. But now, here you can see the battery holder is installed lengthwise. And also bigger batteries as my 3S 4000 mAh battery can be mounted without problems. The second change is the positioning of the electronics. Before, these parts were installed here where actually the battery sits. Very long cables were needed because of this. But now there are newly added plates, and this allows to install the electronics here on each side of the chassis. Overall, for me, a better layout of the chassis and the installed components. So here you can see it with lights. I used warm white LEDs. And also at the rear. This is for me a very good looking off-road truck. And it performs really well on different terrain. But now enough talking, let's go back on the trails.